This conference is one of the most important meetings in history. You have tasked to make decisions and reach
their woke agenda. When you look at the Brandon administration in terms of what they're doing.
Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome back. A little hiatus, but welcome back to another episode of the Habibi Power Hour. Jay, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. What a time to come back on, too.
I mean, shit, Jay. What the fuck was even the last 24 hours, bro?
Right? I mean, I don't think a lot of people still have fully comprehended what happened and taken it all in. Well, especially on the Twitterverse and people online. Well, and in the liberal circles, if you're watching CNN or MSNBC.
All right, so let's unpack this. So Tuesday night, last night was election night. You had a number of different races, nothing like insane. We had Virginia and New Jersey both voting for their next governor. You had a number of mayors across the country, a number of cities voting for both mayor and city council. You have Blake By running in a highly contested race between himself and nobody in Hillsborough, Kansas. And then, Jay, out of nowhere, somehow all of this, everything that happens last night is a result of white supremacy.
That's exactly what it is. I mean,
all of it.
I mean, how can you deny the in-depth analysis of people just claiming everything not going their way is racist? How can you not? Anyone and everyone that voted for Youngkin was a white woman who just wanted to push white supremacy. They were voting.
Are white women?
All of them. They're all voting against critical race theory that doesn't exist. And if you're against it, you're a racist. But it doesn't exist, and it's not being taught. But if you refuse to accept it being taught, you're a racist. And if you don't comply with it, you're a racist. But it doesn't exist.
And if you are anywhere, if you're a person of color and you don't toe the Democratic Party line, you're basically white. So
you're a bitch. That's what you're, a bitch of the white.
So I mean, it's not like many of us have been living under a rock over the last 24 hours. We all know what happened. Glenn Youngkin beat Terry McAuliffe to become the next Virginia governor.
Yep.
You have Winsome Sears become the first woman of color to become lieutenant governor of Virginia. And
how many people reported on that? How many of these liberal
CNN and MSNBC did not even run her acceptance speech?
There were three networks. There were three networks that covered it, according to a bunch of people that I've seen on Twitter. Only three networks, and Fox News was one of them. I'm assuming Newsmax was the other, and probably C-SPAN. Those are probably the three. But I don't know about those other two. I know Fox News definitely covered it.
That's Spencer Sachs, our producer. You can follow him on Twitter at Spencer, or is it S Sachs at 26? Either way, he's fucking fired, so he's not anymore.
There's a private chat, Spencer. A private chat for these things.
And Spencer's fucking late to the show, so banned and fired.
He's just going with his mentor. That's what he's doing. He's following in his mentor's footsteps, being late to his own streams. Ben, Siraj Hashmi, late to your own streams, man. Such a beaut.
Anyways, on top of that, Jason Miyares, Republican, became the first Hispanic to become the Attorney General of Virginia. Now, what does this all mean? Well, apparently white supremacy is back in, Habibis. White supremacy. There's no explanation for it. People only voted for Republicans because they're racist.
Exactly
Now,
right. And black people didn't come to save the world again with their votes.
It's now white suburban women who are currently to blame for everything wrong going on in the world. And that, look, now we have to tie into the topic du jour. And it only makes sense to talk about this right now because, I mean, the Habibis have had my back all day. I have literally gotten tons of messages of support, and I love all of you. And I think it will be, look, let's just get into it. So basically, if you guys know anything about anything, you know that there is a particular individual who has just lost his fucking mind. And his name is, let's zoom in there. Hold on. Let's zoom in there.
His name is Little Kahba.
His name is Wajahat Ali.
Little Kahba.
Now, if you had any knowledge about Wajahat, I don't wish any ill will on him. And in fact, he is still a family friend, so I'm not gonna speak ill of him. But
I can. He's a little fucking bitch.
He wrote this article today called "You Damn Karens Are Killing America," and essentially,
100%.
Openness. Jay, I was so wrecked from last night. I have to only drink water tonight.
Well, I mean, how many sips of bourbon did you have last night?
I had 3 shots.
That was the last of the bottle. So now I'm off to vodka. I don't have a problem.
So brave, so courageous. Look, all of you know. I mean, if you miss what happened between me and Wudge, don't worry, he's still going.
He can't let it go, and they're going to continue to do it forever.
This dude has not shut the fuck up about me all day, literally all day. And then let me just bring it back to the very beginning, okay? You guys can see this, okay? You see that, Jay?
Yep.
Okay. So in response to the election in Virginia,
you have to read it in your Bajan voice. It's
not
racist.
Says, okay, let me say it in my Bajan voice. He says, the whiteness remains undefeated. Let's wait and see who these white suburban voters went for tonight in Virginia. Any guesses? And then he follows up by saying, for those GOP trying to dunk on this tweet, let me repeat, whiteness wins again. They won't get it.
They won't get what? No, we get it. We understand completely how racist Wahjat Ali is. And when I say Wahjat, I say Yal'an abuk ya khara. I don't think he understands that. He doesn't get. He's Indian or is he
Pakistani.
He's Pakistani?
Mm-hmm. Like me.
He's Pakistani. Well, Kusamak, Pakistani. And for people who don't know what Kusamak means, it's an Arabic insult that literally translates to your mother's pussy. That's a literal translation to it. So I say Kusamak and Gahba, which is whore, on Twitter so I don't get banned. And I'm still on. I'm still there. So it works.
So I put him on the list for it because it's, this type of hyperbole, it doesn't fly, Jay. It doesn't fly. If you think everything is racist, nothing is racist.
Exactly.
Like things that aren't racist, Waj thinks is racist. It's just, I mean, the man, his brain is truly broken. But anyways, this is what. So hold on. Before we get to that, because I think it's important to highlight exactly what the order of things and
Yeah.
the where is it? I think
No, it was a tweet that he replied to you with.
yeah, he replied to me saying something along the lines is don't make me release the Kraken, Habibi.
Yes, that's what he said.
That was his initial response, and we have the timestamp. I took screenshots of everything. So then I put him on the list this morning. Waj responds back saying Siraj is beating back this dead horse. Good for clicks. Odd that the people who helped Sidney Powell never end up on his list. I wonder why. Maybe his Habibis who support Trump and his Muslim ban and xenophobia can help us find out. Okay. So he's obviously making a reference to my wife. It's a subtweet, and he tries to be all cute about it, but not actually mentioning my wife's name. And so as a result, this is how I responded. And look, I don't regret this response. He wants to get after me and bring family into it. Okay. Well, I will remind him of the time that I tried to help him and his family when he was in literally the lowest point of his life, when his baby girl had stage 4 liver cancer. I applied to be a liver donor because I have O positive. I think it's either O positive or O negative. Whatever's the universal donor. I think it's O negative.
I think it's O
Jay,
positive.
O positive, yeah. I'm O positive.
It's
yeah,
O negative
still. Oh, I guess. Oh, fuck you, Spencer. It's O negative then. So I applied to be a liver donor. I wasn't turned down, but I was fully prepared. I was mentally prepared to do it. And mind you, this was like maybe a month before Emily and I got married. Okay. So I was fully prepared to go under the knife and potentially miss my wedding or have to postpone it, you name it, in order to help him and his family out. No regrets, right? So I say, watch, I and dozens of others are literally applied to donate our liver to your daughter. Given all the kindness you receive from strangers when dealt with the cards you were dealt with, you've learned all the wrong lessons in life. And this is how he responded to me. He says, shameful that Siraj brings up my daughter, who survived cancer, to avoid my critique of his dumb list that never mentions his wife, Emily Newman, who helped Sidney Powell and other traitors try to do a coup and overturn the election. My daughter is not a prop for your clickbait.
Ooh.
Okay. So there's that. Now, where is it? Damon, Brooklyn Dad, came in here somewhere. Maybe he can enlighten me. Maybe it's around here somewhere. Oh, that's right. There's the tweet. Thank you. He tweeted this out last night, 1:52 p.m., November 2nd. Don't make me unleash the Kraken, Habibi. It was a simple tweet that was dunking on him.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia elected its first woman of color as lieutenant governor, its first Hispanic attorney general, but go off king. Okay, just mapping this out. I mean, he was the one who started it, and I didn't even insult anyone in his family.
Right.
Anyone who has 2 brain cells to put it together.
Well, especially after the article that was released. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Oh, he knew full well what he was doing. And I'm not gonna look. He threatened me. That's what he did. He threatened. He threatened to expose and dox my wife.
Which
tried
he did.
to silence me, which he already did. He tried to silence me by threatening to expose me and my wife. And I've been bullied multiple times, not by the Habibis, like seriously, but I've been bullied seriously over my life, and that is a bully tactic. I don't respond to that shit. I don't respond to threats. And if he's going to continue to insist that maybe I am some sort of traitor, and that I am in bed with traitors. Well, of
You're in
course, I'm
bed
not
with
in bed
me.
with traitors because I'm obviously
You're in
I'm an
bed with me.
incel.
What? No.
But, but look, I mean, Jay, maybe he shouldn't be friends with anyone in my family if he truly feels that way. I let him slide for too long simply because he's close to my brother. I'm not letting that shit fly. And he's
I
a fucking
wouldn't.
snake for doing this.
Oh, absolutely. Over a disagreement like that on Twitter. I mean, and the thing is that his take is so tried and boring and fucking doesn't even make any sense anymore
He didn't want.
that
He
it
fucking
deserves
called
to be
me and all the
dumped.
Habibis bigoted.
I know, and it's insane because like we don't have bigoted Habibis at all. We have Habibis of all races and all colors. And even though some people don't like us using Habibi to mention other people other than Arabs, they can go fuck themselves because that's how inclusive we are as the Habibis. I mean, we even have lizard people who are Habibis, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like Faye. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking, Faye. I love you, Faye.
No, but
and the
seriously,
funny thing is that like a lot of the Habibis also signed up to be donors for his child as well.
yeah,
Because when
and
it
pray
came
for
to that kind of stuff,
we pray for him, man. We
right?
pray for his well-being, and we don't wish anyone ill will. That's not how we roll. We want the best for everyone.
We do.
But then he turns
And
around and calls everybody racist. He calls us all bigots. He calls me bigot. I have broke bread with this motherfucker multiple times. And this is how he fucking repays me. This man his brain is truly turned into porridge. Look, I'm not even mad. I'm hurt by this because in no way did I try to use his daughter as a shield.
right. No, it wasn't. And
fucking
it wasn't a
threatened me.
prop. And it wasn't a prop either. No, he did. And you just went and mentioned, like how close you guys were, how you were there in his time of need. And for him to turn around and try to threaten with something your wife did is just really a low blow.
I never ever, Jay, I never hold people responsible for the actions of their family members, let alone their spouses.
Right.
Why
And also
why is it that I don't get the same benefit of the doubt? Why am I basically, and look, I'm proud of my wife. I'm proud of everything she's done. Everything that she's done has led her to where she is today, and I love her dearly. I would never I would say in terms of doing all over again, I would do everything exactly the same because it led me exactly to where I am today. This is a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And look, there are highs and lows all the time. This year, look, when they first tried to expose my wife in an Axios story from earlier this year, because she was part of a pretty wild meeting in the White House. Like I had a fucking panic attack. You remember that?
No, I do.
And we watched the only way to like calm myself down was to watch fucking what was it, that anime show?
Oh, Attack on Titan?
Attack on Titan. Yeah. That like put me in so much of a better place. And like ever since then, anytime anyone comes after me or my family or my wife, like it doesn't faze me as much. Like I'm over it. But like this guy, Watch. I don't know if you're listening. If you are, I mean, where do you draw the line? Do you have any shame whatsoever?
No, it was pretty shameful.
If you even care remotely about even my brother, why would you do this to his brother? Why would you do this to his brother? What? Why would you do this to his sister-in-law? What's the gain from all this? You just you are literally hurting yourself. And it further proves the point that he needs the list even more
Hmm.
because of how he's dug this hole for himself. So I don't know. I mean, like, there's really, Jay, I don't know what else to say about it. I think he says I've changed. Yo, Jay, he says I've changed. And look, maybe we all changed, but I didn't at least lose any decency or humanity towards people who disagree with me.
100%.
I don't know if I could say that the same about him, essentially.
I don't think you can, because there's a lot. This case has been happening a lot with a lot of people around the world. I mean, not around the United States, where people just cannot allow themselves to be associated with different points of view. And it's not even like you're an extreme point of view on one side either for him to act this way. But they are so toe in line with their cult like ideology that they're not going to be able to see anything outside of what's in front of their face. And it's really funny because they want to talk about how mega Trumpists and stuff like that have this view on the world and how they think about things, while they themselves are completely shut off from wanting to hear any other side.
And you know what, Jay, and I look, with all the allegations of voter fraud that have been ongoing, why is it all of a sudden considered traitors to even look into those? Wasn't traitors in 2016? In 2016, everyone was saying, oh, the Russians hacked our election machines, that we should do a 2.5 year long investigation with a special counsel. No one called that traitorous.
No, that didn't.
How the fuck is it only that people on the right, well, specifically even people like my wife, who is a Jewish woman married to a Muslim man, oh, somehow we're bigots, okay? Hey, anyone can be a bigot. I get it. But who have we directly hurt, Jay? Who have we singled out any individual based on their race, their gender, their sex, their creed, their religion, ethnicity? They just call us bigots because we don't think like them.
Right. And that's exactly where it comes from.
Dude, I am so fucking sick of it. Every time I see this dude tweet, like, I get gaslit even more. I'm like, you're just pushing me even further and further away, man. Any like modicum or like sense of trying to bring people, any like effort you're trying to put in to like convince people that, you know, your side is right, and you know you have good policies, and you know you're fighting for what's right. You know, I'm almost convinced that Waj is a GOP operative. Like, that is how bad he is at what he does. He's like the Lincoln Project. All he does is convince people to do the opposite of what he wants. Damon Toll, thank you for the nice super chat. Says, imagine trashing your friend's family because you got put in the fucking list of all things. I know.
Right. And he's still going. He just had another tweet that if you go into the private chat, you can see.
I just pulled here it is. So this is what he says. He says, I deliberately avoided mentioning Emily Newman for a year, even though she's part and parcel of Sidney Powell's team of traitors who tried to overturn an election because she was Siraj's wife. Well, she is Siraj's wife to protect him, but he used my daughter's cancer as a shield, and I won't tolerate that. And then he also went on to say, also, Emily Newman is a public servant, a former member of the Trump administration, and a grown adult who voluntarily chose to help a coup attempt. Many articles have been written citing her as part of the Kraken team. My daughter is a 5-year-old cancer survivor.
You know what's really funny about him saying this, about like how they wanted to overturn the election in a coup attempt and all this kind of stuff? The fuck was the Russia collusion narrative that was happening for 2 to 4 years of the Trump administration? And not only that, They were pushing the investigation. They were cheering it on. Are you telling me Wahjat Ali did not cheer on the investigation to try and overturn the election? And you want to fucking talk about people being traitors and wanting to delegitimize the fucking election? That right there is you delegitimizing the election itself. You're pushing and cheering on whatever avenue that your team can use in order to overturn the election for you to win.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Wahjat Ali, what his fucking wife, because I'm pretty sure she cheered it on too, and I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say it right here and there. I don't care. And
leave his wife and kids out of it, because they're lovely, and his wife is a really lovely
Wahjat Ali, him and everyone like him that cheered on the investigation, that was hoping and praying that it was going to overturn the election, are no different than any lawyer or any person trying to look at different avenues for their team to win. No different whatsoever. And if you tell me that they are, you're a fucking liar, because you just want yourself to look like you're some moral, righteous person.
He's sanctimonious beyond belief, to the point where he completely undermines everything he's trying to do.
Anyone that had a what was the lead FBI agent's name? What was his name?
Peter Strzok.
No, the guy who was doing
Robert
the investigation.
Mueller.
Yeah, whoever had a Mueller candle in their fucking house is a traitor of the United States.
Nolan Harris says, "Sorry, I'm sorry, Habibis. I'm a wingnut? A wingit?" Habibi says, "It's always awful when someone's politics become the religion. We hear for our Habibi pals and loved ones. Thank you, guys." MB says, "The guy named your wife 3 times. You know what the Antifa left's modus operandi is. You know why he's naming her like this. Dangerous beyond words. This goes beyond ideology. It's pure evil." Yeah, and everyone seems to be talking endless amounts of shit about me, including that guy Tony Poznansky, whatever the fuck his last name, and some other dude named Neil or something like that. And you called it Jay. You had a good talk on him before he deleted his tweet.
Oh yeah, he did. What did that other guy? What did I say? I said, how many donkeys fucked your gahba mother for you to get your face to look like that?
Sarah Jacobs says, "Doxing someone's wife over bogus claims is insidious. Siraj, you are a better person than I would be." Yeah, I just know that they they just don't seem to. They'll never play by the same rules. And
they want to call other people cruel.
Standard. People who don't really get it are taking his side because they thought, he wasn't actually mentioning my wife. Yeah, he subtweeted it. And,
he did. He did, and he mentioned it.
I'm not gonna respond. I am not gonna respond well to that. So if he wants to fuck around, he's gonna find out. And he's been tweeting on me all day. So look, he's been wasting his time on this all day. As soon as I said my piece, I went and worked out at the gym, and then I took this thick boy for a walk, ate a little dinner. I ate early dinner like a boomer, and early bird special, and then I worked on the show, and now I'm here. I mean, I didn't want to tweet more about it because I needed to say my piece here, because honestly, if he wants to waste all his time tweeting about me, that's his prerogative. I'm just glad I'm living rent-free in his head. Spencer wants to get in here. What the fuck, Spencer?
No, I was just saying, peep the banner.
A boomer. A boomer is in Mujahed Ali's head for an entire day, and the boomer still didn't finish. Also, Habibis, I'm not playing the vaccine song anymore because we constantly get demonetized. So if you want to make it worth it, at least $69 in the super chat.
And then we'll start playing it. Yeah, we do.
Every single time we play the vaccine song, we get demonetized.
Habibis, we've done it. We finally got rid of the vaccine song.
It came when it comes to money. It's gone.
Yeah. So, Jay, what's been on your radar so far this week? I mean, we've been gone for 2 weeks, and there's been a shit ton of news that's been happening. And man, I don't even know where to start besides just the fucking election that we had last night.
Right. And I mean, from the election to the left and the media trying to make "Let's Go Branded" into like a hate speech fucking slogan, and it's just start saying like, "Oh my God, they're so vulgar. They're using 'Let's Go Brandon' because they mean 'fuck you, Biden.'"
Wait, hold up.
So scary.
FaZe says, Siraj, you know damn well your monetization for the show is like 69 cents. Actually, you know what? FaZe got a point.
Got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine.
You did this, Big. This was you.
I
You
will
did this.
inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. Just call it thing is real and it will find you. It's killing out people. Let me remind you. Back in the days. Smallpox back in the days.
Back in the days.
And monks, man, back in the days. But because of the vaccines, none of those days. Vaccines, they work.
I eat ass. So does Siraj. We like to eat ass.
No need
More
to wait. Get
ass.
your vaccine before it's too late. For real.
Eat it.
Oh man. So where were we, Jay? We were talking about something, right?
We're just talking about the news of these last 2 weeks. And one thing that was really hilarious was after the Virginia election and the way that it swung. I mean, this is what people need to understand. It went plus what? Plus 12, plus 14 or something like that for Biden when he was running against
He was
Trump.
plus 10 against Trump.
Plus 10 at least. And then now you have Youngkin winning, and not only Youngkin, it was a downvote ballot for Republicans straight up.
Yeah, people. Yeah,
And a lot of people thought that Virginia was lost. They thought it was too blue. They thought it was gone. They thought there was no way in hell that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
But it shows that, I don't know, telling parents that they have no rights on their children or their education, or that they should be considered domestic terrorists
right.
for raising questions might have been the wrong message.
Yeah,
Maybe calling them all racist is wrong.
Rusty Shackelford says the vaccine song is now considered misinformation. Thank you, Rusty. And Andrew
Which is true.
3496. Well, if you read that backwards, that's 6943 word DNA. Either way, it starts off with 69, so that's nice. Says, I've never laughed as hard as when Siraj goes, you know what, you're right, and the song runs. Thank you, Andrew. Now, Jay, look, there is something to be said about everything that happened with the election last night. But let me at least show you just kind of where the heads are at for people on the left. Watch this clip from MSNBC's Nicole Wallace.
I think we know the answer to some of this. I watched Glenn Youngkin's interviews on Fox News, and he did nothing that he did not. I mean, he worshipped at the altar of Donald Trump on Fox News. He flew an insurrection flag at his rallies. He simply didn't. He played dumb about a Zoom rally. He did not really put much distance between himself and Donald Trump on the big lie or the deadly insurrection in which police officers were maimed by flagpoles. So I think that the real ominous thing is that critical race theory, which isn't real, turned the suburbs 15 points to the Trump insurrection endorsed Republican. What do Democrats do about that?
So Jay,
It's not
a couple takeaways there. Wait, critical race theory isn't real now?
It's not.
Did they just move the goalposts on this? I thought they
Right.
Or has it always been a conservative boogeyman?
No. What you don't understand,
I thought critical race
Siraj.
theory was a real thing. Was it not?
No, it's not. But if you
Am I
oppose
being
it,
gaslit?
you're racist. but it's not
But
real.
but Jay, seriously, like
It's not
people
real.
are now saying it's not real.
It's
Am
not.
I going insane?
It's not
What's
being
funny-
taught in school. It's not real. It's not any of that kind of stuff. But if you oppose it being taught in school, you're a racist.
What's funny
So
about this also
it's-
is CRT isn't real. The Loudoun County schoolgirls aren't real because there was the Washington Post opinion piece. Like I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was an opinion piece I think last week. It was like, yeah, this never happened. Like this was a consensual thing that happened the week before.
You want
All this stuff saying that was fake.
You want to?
Yeah, I can go find that.
Spencer, you want to go find that? Pull it up. We'll go through it together. Yeah, like Jay, I thought critical race theory was this, large, expansive, ideology where you couldn't basically describe it in an elevator pitch because it was so dense and laced with, different subgenres of academia and study, and all of a sudden this thing doesn't even fucking exist. Is it because of this you mean it doesn't exist in the teaching of schools, or does it just not exist entirely? Am I going insane? I feel like I'm going insane.
I think they are already insane, and they have no idea like what kind of message they're stuck. They're like deers in headlights. They don't know what they're supposed to do or supposed to say on an issue like this. They don't know if they're supposed to say it's not real. They don't know if they're supposed to say it should be taught in its real history. They don't know if they're supposed to say if you're opposing it being taught to your kids, you're a racist. They don't know exactly what the message is that they want to say about this. But I think more and more people are waking up to their complete bullshit. And
this is what I'm wondering, Jay. Like, is what I'm getting at is critical race theory like the new migrant caravan? You know how like every time there's an election, at least during the Trump years and maybe in the later Obama years, there was always like that threat of like a migrant caravan coming up through the southern border, through Central America and into Mexico, about to enter the United States through Texas or California, most likely Texas, and everybody like lost their shit. And then as soon as the election ended, nobody be talking about the migrant caravan. Is that like what's going to happen? Like we're just not going to talk about critical race theory for at least another, at least until next summer when the 2022 election heats up.
That's what they're going to hope for. But the thing is I think more after looking and watching what happened here, a lot more parents are going to be feeling more empowered. And I think that there's going to be a lot more push from people like Christopher and other people who have been very vocal on critical race theory. And I think like he is somebody who has completely really shined a light on this illogical ideology that people are pushing, because honestly, this is what's dividing people a lot more. And it being taught in corporations, it being taught in all these places. And honestly, I'm really surprised that there hasn't been a class lawsuit against corporations that push shit that are stating like your whiteness is a problem. You being white is a problem. Like they're saying you being white is this is a racist, divisive ideology. And a lot of people who came from the Martin Luther King generation, a lot of people who came from the generation of the civil rights movement, of where the color of your skin shouldn't matter for anything that you do. Whether you have a dick or a vagina doesn't matter. Whether you have boobs or
Jay,
not,
what about us
doesn't
too?
matter, because you can still eat ass.
So this is the article that Spencer was highlighting from Justin Juvenile, who is a justice reporter with Washington Post. The tweet says, the teen testified she met a classmate for consensual sex in the girls' bathroom of a Loudoun County high school before, but in a May encounter, she was sexually assaulted. Need details in the case of the center of a firestorm. Yeah, I recall reading this story, and Justin made the list for this. What I have to say, though, is that in addition to the sexual assault and the rape case in Loudoun County High School, and as well as critical race theory and Terry McAuliffe making the argument that, parents don't actually have a choice in what their children learn, and they shouldn't have a say in it. Whereas Glenn Youngkin comes out and says, actually, you know what? Parents should have a say in what their children learn. And actually, I got this clip from fucking Aaron Rupar of all people. Watch this. This is from Glenn Youngkin's acceptance speech on Tuesday night after he was declared the winner.
We're going to press forward with a curriculum that includes listening to parents' input, a curriculum that allows our children to run as fast as they can, teaching them how to think, enabling their dreams to soar. Friends, we are going to reestablish excellence in our schools.
All I heard was like, white this, white that, white this, white kids, white.
Look at this Ted Cruz face having looking ass. This guy, no, I don't even care about Glenn Youngkin. Yo, Glenn Youngkin, I really do not give a shit about Glenn Youngkin. He is a rhino Republican. He ain't gonna do shit in Virginia. He's gonna be a typical Republican governor.
What are you talking about? He's gonna be the next Trump. He's a Trump. He's the next Trump.
Spencer, you stole the fucking words out of my mouth. Fired. Fuck out of here. Pack your shit. I swear to God. But yeah, somehow this guy's a Trump figure simply because, he's running for governor and he is opposed to critical race theory. Well, you know who also is opposed to critical race theory?
Hitler.
Lieutenant. I was gonna go with his lieutenant governor, Winsome Sears, who obviously is a white woman. She's a white woman, right?
So I say to you, victory indeed. But I say to you, there are some who want to divide us, and we must not let that happen. They would like us to believe we are back in 1963 when my father came. We can live where we want. We can eat where we want. We own the water fountains. We have had a black president elected not once but twice, and here I am, living proof.
Yeah, she's white. The whitest white woman I've ever seen.
I mean, look at how white her husband's beard is.
In case you haven't noticed, I am black, and I have been black all my life.
Look at those white earrings.
My God.
The whiteness everywhere is insane.
Can you imagine, Jay, the fucking caucasity of this woman?
It's insane. And MSNBC didn't air her speech. You didn't have Joy Reid watching her speech at all. You didn't have CNN airing the speech.
It was all racist alarmism.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it was. And the on CNN, I mean, after an hour and like Vaughn Jones comparing fucking
Glenn Youngkin to the Delta variant.
Yeah, after all of that, he's like, you know what? Maybe our messaging is annoying to some people. It's like, no fucking shit. You just spent an hour comparing him to fucking the Delta variant, for fuck's sake. Like, he's actually gonna go and kill people. Like, anyone or any of like Trump or anyone really went out and killed a bunch of people or some shit. Like, these people are fucking crazy. They live in a fucking delusion. And then they have all of these other fucking delusional people in a circle that just keep on spewing this delusion to try and make it like it's a reality, and you questioning it, you're the crazy person. It's
so
fucking,
it's insane. Abe Eckstein, thank you, says he thanked Trump for his tele-rally tonight on Tucker. He's really the Delta variant of Trump. Look, thanking Trump for his tele-rally and actually governing like Trump, two completely different things. I think Republicans are looking for the easiest way to move past Trump and let him down gently. This seems to be like one of those instances because Republicans, they hate Trump just as much as Democrats. They think he ruined their party, especially establishment Republicans like Glenn Youngkin. So if he's going to go off here and say, thanks, Mr. President, for your support in the tele-rally last week. Now, you didn't campaign Terry McAuliffe and his team, they thought that Trump was definitely going to be campaigning in Virginia. They're hoping and praying for it. The Terry McAuliffe and Virginia Democrats and the Lincoln Project were so desperate to try to paint Glenn Youngkin as this, Trump light, this Delta variant of Trump, that they literally staged a stunt of 5 individuals dressed up like they were white supremacists outside Glenn Youngkin's bus with holding tiki torches saying that they're all in for Glenn.
I mean, it was so extravagant that Northam even joined in.
Yeah, I mean, even their racists have a diversity quota. They had to include a white woman and a black man in that.
That was Northam. That black man was Northam. Like
Jesus.
It's not.
Oh man. So it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Don't believe you're lying at, or believe you're lying at. So what's that sponsor?
But I will say though, if you haven't listened to her speech, I personally think it's one of the greatest election win speeches that have happened in recent history. Reason being is that it's everything that the GOP needs to put forward. Talking about an immigrant, now lieutenant governor of Virginia. I mean, we're talking about a state that has troubled past, putting it mildly, with racism. Like it's absurd speech that she has. She talks about her father moving from Jamaica with $1.75. She says, "quote," and it would have been
$1.69. That would have been nice.
Yeah,
right. That would have been a little bit more base. She needs to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, we need to focus on that 169 and take those 6 cents away from her. Well, how Spencer just pops in here. Fuzzy
comes right in. Yeah.
Let's Spencer. All right. So Jay, it's another crazy story in New Jersey, of all places. Since we're not done talking about the election, there was a state senator. In fact, the president of the state senate losing to a fucking truck driver.
One thing before that,
$153 on his campaign. $153.
Amazing. It's amazing. 150, and half of that was Dunkin' Donuts to the staff members. He raised in total of $10,000 and only spent 153.
What makes it even better also is the fact that he went on Fox News and they asked him so what do you plan to do? And he's like, I honestly don't know. He said this, and I can find the video. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I don't know yet. There's a lot of learning I have to do. This dude literally spent $175 to unseat the Senate president.
So
what's
Edward
going on?
Durr, the guy's name who won is Republican Edward Durr, Durr. He beat the Senate president, the Democratic Senate President Steve Sweeney, and he beat him by more than 2,000 votes by a margin of 52 to 48%, with 99% of the precinct reporting. That is, and this is the loss of New Jersey's most powerful politician, basically beneath the governor. That is how big of a deal this is. This is actually, I think, this upset even bigger than AOC over Joe Crowley.
I think so too.
This guy spent $153. He's a fucking truck driver.
Right. It's an unheard of name over somebody who is a career politician who's been there for fucking ever, who's a billion years old. It is really, really, really insane. And I think, and I hope that we're going to see a huge political landscape shift over all of this that's happening. And I don't mean one way or another.
New Jersey's by and large kind of gone because they, it's not reported nearly as much, Jay. We don't talk about New Jersey nearly as much simply because they've always been sort of seen as, the little sibling of New York. But their COVID deaths and cases and their lockdowns were just as bad, and sometimes, if not worse, than New York.
Yeah.
And Phil Murphy is an absolute hypocrite because he imposed these very stringent lockdowns, and he broke his own lockdown orders, just like Gavin Newsom did, just like Andrew Cuomo, just like London Breed, the San Francisco mayor, just like fucking Bill de Blasio, dude, everybody. Everybody is a fucking hypocrite, and they don't get enough shit for it.
No, they don't. And it's very hilarious because that's exactly what will happen also with a lot of these policies that they want to put in front. They are expecting you and your family to make all the sacrifices while they do nothing. You have these we had the climate alarmism fucking meeting that just happened where Biden was apologizing for us to be off of the Paris Accord, while China is laughing their ass off, saying that they're not going to comply with anything. You can go fuck yourself, Biden, or let's go, Brandon. And they are going to be producing a lot more coal mines, while all of these fucking people are telling you the way that you're supposed to live your life, flew on private jets to get to this meeting.
Yeah.
And Biden took a nap during it. So did Boris Johnson, but Biden took a nap during it.
Yeah, but we never had. I mean, at this point with Biden, I mean, like that's not even the worst thing he did this week. It's obviously like shitting himself in front of the Pope. The poop.
Right, he did poop. I like how it was like poop gate. He did. You know he pooped his pants. I mean, just look at this guy. I bet he poops his pants at least 3 times a week.
Look, we are not going to shame Biden for pooping his pants. God knows I've pooped my pants more than my fair share. Wait, what?
I have the underwear.
Yeah, I mean, I wear Depends for a reason. That's why I look so thick. Rico Roca says, put Durr in charge of our economy. He will get us to Mars on the 2069 NASA budget. There's a previous comment from Jeremy. I think he said, Spencer, can you highlight it? I got Ern look in my hand. That was a super chat. He says, go away, Spencer. You're making Siraj look less white. Exactly. How dare you? And then Abe also says, did you see that MSNBC clip blaming the Habibis for making it close in Jersey? I did.
They were talking
I was
about
way too drunk last night when I saw it and did not get and I didn't let fully process.
Yeah, they were talking about the Orthodox Jews, swinging
like
their
Lakewood.
vote.
I think it was like Lakewood,
Lakewood,
or something like that. Yeah. So Jay, why is it always when, and I'm gonna say this, like this could sound very ignorant, but it seems as if in the last like few election cycles, every time something doesn't go the way that Democrats want them to go, there's always immediate finger pointing at different racial, gender, or ethnic groups.
Right. And it will never be people, it will never be black people. That will never happen. That won't
happen.
Because
if we
I mean, it's slowly happening with black straight.
If we blame black people for electing Youngkin, which actually there's a county in Virginia that's majority black that actually went for Youngkin.
Yeah, it swung straight to Youngkin, and not only that, he doubled the support from from black women. He doubled the support from black women. I think that it isn't a racial issue; it's more of a messaging issue. And the thing is,
obviously it's a messaging issue. Terrible Color ran a terrible campaign, but every single time something bad happens for Democrats, the finger pointing always goes like, oh, well, it's because of white women. Oh, it's because of
I was going to say
it's because of Hispanics in Florida who voted for Trump in the 2020 election. Like they were basically getting whitewashed as a result. Like they weren't somehow people of color. Like their Hispanic heritage was erased simply because they voted for a Republican. Like how fucking dare you?
I know, and
I just don't get it. Why does this always happen? And then I get into another like, this is kind of like a side discussion about the whole Wajahat thing. But I was getting into it with Dr. Jason Johnson, who I consider a friend, and I mean, he came at me saying, "Seriously, Siraj, you're going to be that guy?" In terms of like,
You know,
course,
even
like,
yeah, like even voting for a black woman or voting for a Hispanic, you can still be a racist. Is basically what Dr. Jason was
and you
saying.
can't. I mean,
And
and that's what, and I don't disagree with the
for
point that you
sure,
can't be racist and vote for someone of a person of color.
absolutely. But when
You and I
somebody
both can acknowledge that, and
absolutely,
we're
but when
honest about
somebody
them.
like Wahjat Ali comes out and starts saying that this is your fault, you Karens, you white women and stuff, why is it that we're not calling this guy a racist sexist right now for doing shit like that? Calling them Karens, knowing full well the messaging behind it and trying to blame just white women for what? For doing what? What is it? And I'm still trying to figure this answer out too. What is it about Youngkin that is racist? What was his messaging that is racist? What
Oh, I
part
guess
of
that
it?
he's opposed
What
to
is
CRT.
racist? No, but the thing is like what I want to know from these fucking people is I am done sitting down and just like letting them say that, oh, you're a racist for voting this way, or you're a racist, or this guy is a racist. Okay, why? What fucking policy is he putting in place that makes him a racist? And if I disagree with you over what you're saying, like for example, saying that you need to bring ID cards in order for you to vote, then why the fuck are you, the exact same person, totally okay with vaccine passports that are discriminatory towards people of color? You're completely like they're destroying their own fucking arguments when it comes to these things, and it makes zero sense. And people are waking up to this fucking game. They're waking up to the logical fucking messaging that they're trying to push.
So Faye says, Siraj, don't take this the wrong way, but I think you need to make some new friends. Your taste in them is terrible. All right, Jay, this show is over. We're no longer friends.
Hold on. Hold up. This is good taste right here. This is
Indian Bro says, Happy Diwali, by Sam. Oh, Happy Diwali to you, sir. No, I mean, like, here's the thing. I am friendly with everyone, and I don't care what your political leanings are. If you're a good person, I got no problem with you. And so early on in my career, Jason Johnson and I were friendly with each other. I was a producer at Sirius XM Radio. He was sometimes a guest host, and we always were friendly with each other. In fact, there were probably many times I agree with him and then I disagree with him. As my career progressed, I happened to learn a lot more, and there are certainly things that happened over the course of the last 6-7 years since I. Oh my God, Spencer. Siraj is friends with everyone. Wait, Siraj has friends. You're fucking fired, Spencer. Get the fuck out of here. Pack your shit.
he makes a good point. He makes a very good point.
I will never unfriend anyone for their politics. Okay? That's not how I roll. Because I learn from many people about their experience, their life experience, about their views, and I just like talking to people. And I like to understand them better. And remember, Jay, like back in like the 2000s, one of the things that supposedly people on the left would be promoting is that they're tolerant of other people. They're tolerant of other people's, race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, sexual preference, you name it. And now they've reached their limits. They've reached their limits in that they are no longer tolerant of anyone who doesn't think like them. So and they'll say we have a very diverse classroom or something like that. We have a diverse like fraternity, or we have a diverse sorority or a diverse company, but everybody thinks the same shit. Is that really diversity though?
Diversity of thought just means you're white.
Because
I was going to say, like, if a black person votes Republican, then they're white. Doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what
Joe
color
Biden
they are. Or
he says, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, right?
Right, and he did say that.
And nobody. And you had Nicole Hannah-Jones follow up by saying there's a difference between being racially black and politically black. Well, Jay,
I think these people have a very, very delusional thought process of what it is to be a human being and what it is to live your
But
life. And
but
they're the ones who are divisive. They're as divisive in my mind as white supremacists are or
but most
anything
I mean,
else.
Jay, you and I both know most people vote for their own self-interest.
Yeah.
How is it possible that we've reached this point in society where if you have to prove, like, if you're racially black but you're not politically black, you're not 100% black. Is that is that kind of the logic that they seem to be going with here? Because I can't help but I can't figure it out whether I am, like, people will say, "Oh, I'm religiously Muslim, but I'm not politically Muslim." Let's take that one, because let's be real, Jay. Most Muslims, most brown people who are from the Middle East or Pakistan or India, there's a pretty healthy chunk of them, probably majority here in the United States, who vote for only Democrats, straight up, simply because of, Bush administration policy, Patriot Act, the Iraq War, Afghanistan War, just the, post 9/11 animosity towards a lot of Muslims. A lot of that has gone away. Sure, I might be spied on by DHS more than probably the next man, but I can at least recognize that people are just people, man. And let me read this fan comment. Just Siraj, having friends with different opinions is fun, but people who dox you or attack you, especially in public, are not friends. Well, Jason never doxed. It was just Watch. So, but Watch he crossed the line. Habibi Bros, or this from Damon, says it was a while back. The message was, how much money do we have to pay to keep Sachs off the show? I forgot. I meant to highlight
$69.69. There you go.
And then he's off the show for the whole.
Yeah,
he's off for the whole show for the rest of the night.
You have to pay to not see him anymore. So Jay, yeah, look, I know you're atheist, but most people still, I still call you Muslim for some reason.
Because my name is Mujahed, maybe.
Mujahed Kobbe. But like most people would say, "Oh, Jay, you're a sellout. You're self-hating. You don't care about your own people. You have to only vote for the interests of your people." I mean, have you ever gotten that type of response? I mean,
of course. I get it. I get it a lot. And I get messages as well saying that I'm like self-hating or I'm a self-hating Arab. I've even had I've had my own family members even say that to me, that I'm a self-hating Arab if I'm ever saying anything positive on Trump or Republicans or anything else outside of that. And this is what people need to understand. And I think really needs to be pushed is that when you are saying that, oh, my my group or my culture or my people, that's like the worst thing. It's like, no, you idiot. You being a black person in LA is a very different thing than you being a black person in New York or a black person in Atlanta or a black person in Texas or a black person in fucking Ghana. It's a different thing. They're not your people. And I am not somebody's people. I'm not that. I'm my own person. The individual is more important right now, in my belief, in your own thought process for what you think is the best for you yourself. And don't be shamed. Do not be shamed by other people for you wanting to make sure that you're able to do for yourself and for your family and for the people who are important to you. That's my understanding of the things, because they're not your people. Like, you're not my people. You're my lover, but you're not my people.
I love you too. Roy Mesker has a good comment. Spencer, you want to highlight that real quick? This one, I got it. Individualism over collectivism. That is basically the two forces at play. It's either globalism versus nationalism, or individualism over collectivism.
That's dog whistle. You can't say globalism.
Why?
Why? Because they.
Are you going to put 3 parentheses around that? Garmo, thank you. Damon says Zach shouldn't be allowed on stream until his mustache. It seems fair.
All right. That's true. That's true, LB. I only care about that and also purple toenail polish. Those are the two things I care about.
But it's so good to see LB back in the chat. We've missed you. It's been a minute. I think Jay. God, what else has happened? Oh, I tell you what. So one of the cool things that happened this week is I got a chance to meet the team over at Rumble, and so did the star of the show, Ernie. And they are making a massive investment in moving basically their headquarters from Toronto, Canada, to Sarasota, Florida. And they're going to be located in Longboat Key, which is a very nice place. So, Jay, the hope is to get your ass out here, and then maybe we can finally do some in-person
60-90.
That too,
right? I mean, because the FaceTime stuff, it doesn't feel the same.
Well, yeah, that's true. But also, I mean, we did do it the last time we saw each other.
Right, when I came down to Virginia.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. Like when they got the bug of you and me being together, that's when the red wave started.
Spencer says Rumble is making a massive investment in Florida. Hopefully, it doesn't lead to Jay and Siraj being OnlyFans together. Are you kidding me? I don't think OnlyFans can take this type of content.
I don't think so either. I think the only thing that can handle it would be Rumble.
I think Trump's new platform will have the space for love space.
That could be true.
It should happen, inshallah. But it's interesting because this is just one of many things that's happening around the world. Like in my conversation with Chris, who is the president, he was telling me that one of the things that he really gained an appreciation for was the Second Amendment, and specifically,
and is Chris Canadian?
Chris is Canadian, yeah. And he's basically he and his company are basically being chased out of Canada because they are now trying to pass a bill under Trudeau's parliament to ban not hate speech, but hurtful speech.
That's what they're calling it now. They're calling it.
Jay, that is literally that's literally could be anything under the sun. Hurtful
It
speech.
really can be. I mean, hurtful speech. Like, what are they trying to? And this is the funny thing about when they're trying to protect people is living life is you have a lot of adversity in your life. In order for you to actually live free, you need to experience adversity. If you're going to be coddled your whole life, you're not free. You're not. That's not freedom. That's you being a little bitch.
So it's I gotta say, Aesop says, can we get a mute sax button? We should get that. I mute the shit out of him all the time. Now, you know what's weird is that, like, look, you have this bill in Canada, you have this this bill or this new law in the UK that specifically gives people who are found to have engaged in targeted harassment actual prison time from targeted online harassment, that is. And that's obviously a pretty horrible behavior, but that's something that could get widely abused. And the fact that you are going to be now criminalizing people for speech online, of all places, it's only a matter of time, I think, before that shit arrives here on our shores. I mean, because look at what's happening already. You have a massive big tech oligarchy working in cahoots with the federal government, which is technically, Jay, what do we call that? What do we call it? I think it starts with an F word. Maybe you can help me. It starts with an F and ends with ashes.
Fascist.
No, I meant it's actually asses.
Asses. You said it starts with an F.
I'm fucking with you. It's fast.
Okay, so
Um,
English is my
So-
fourth language, right? Like it's ass eating, Dan's mom's ass eating, Steve's mom's ass eating, Fuzzy's mom's ass eating, and then English.
Haley Sayenko says last night had me hopeful we can move past Trump. First time here and love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Habibi. Aesop369 says, "Oh god damn it, Spencer. I should just let you handle it." Yeah, I know. He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Canada and the UK don't have a First Amendment. It's all based on common law, so there is no protection. Exactly. And I think Dave Chappelle, who has been honored, who had been obviously the topic of discussion for the last month, he said it best, I think, in one of his first Netflix specials. He says, the First Amendment is first for a reason. The Second Amendment is there just in case the first one doesn't work out.
Right.
In my conversation with Chris, he had this pretty stunning realization because he was very much pro gun control. Chris, who is actually pretty liberal, he would admit he's not actually conservative. But
Yeah, he's Canadian.
He's Canadian, exactly. And what is really a Canadian? They're all libs. But he was telling me that if, say, for example, and this was the scenario that was posited to him. When the Nazis were rounding up Jews in 1939 and in the late 30s and early 40s to send them to concentration camps and work camps, basically to their deaths. If every German soldier had known that any home that they were entering, they knew that they potentially had a firearm, would they think twice? That was the question that was posed to him. And Chris told me, he's like, yeah, of course they would. It's like, that's enough. That's enough right there to simply, if that simple pause to prevent the whatever government is in charge from simply coming in and rounding all of us up and sending us to wherever the fuck they want to send us to, detain us. Something like the Second Amendment is there to protect us. So
right. And you have people like Wajid Ali and all these people who are like so terrified of fascism would be totally okay if they round up people like your wife or people who are not within their same ideological thought process and putting them away. They always think that as long as they are in power and the government does shit like this, it's okay.
Yeah. Wait, did Faye? Oh God, what did Faye say? Hey, thank you so much for the very nice donations. She says, welcome to the new Habibis who seem to be in the chat tonight. And good to see people returning. Spencer, when it comes to these pop-up appearances, follow the same principle Siraj's wife does about his company. A little goes a long way.
So, I mean, what she's saying is because Siraj is just 2 inches, make sure you only come up like once or twice because it will pack an even better impact when you do it that way. So instead of just popping up like 6 or 7 different times when it's only 2 inches, like you're overcompensating for what it is you can actually do.
I don't know if that was a backhanded compliment at me or a backhanded slap at you, Siraj, because it could go either way.
It's both. Faye doesn't. She comes for all.
We need
Faye.
No, we can't get that button.
Faye doesn't miss for one, and two, that was directed more at me than it was at you, Spencer. So, you want to get down?
Gerard 419, thank you so much. I could get thrown in jail for hateful speech for telling you the Patriots suck. Oh, and the Patriots suck. Well, honestly, I mean, we'll see. It's kind of true that they do suck.
Thanks, Spencer. And now I'm all out of focus again.
I blame Spencer for that. Well, actually, I don't because it's you being a boomer, really. But since we're getting down to it, we're going to be going to our favorite segment of the night.
Which one?
Which is ask us anything. And that is totally true. Canadians are all libs. Siraj would fit right in.
I believe it's A Siraj. Right.
NJ
New Jersey
escapee.
Yeah, go ahead, read that, Jay.
During the riots in Portland last year, all my lib friends were screeching on Facebook about why no one was shooting the cops. Jesus Christ. That would be an insane thing to look at. Why nobody was shooting the cops?
Sorry,
it
I
was,
missed
it was
half the
going
question.
crazy out there. Damien, can I ask why Siraj still doesn't have a working camera? I mean, you can ask that, but to get an answer, you would need to pay for. Spencer, Spencer, love you guys. You know that, but if you appear frequently, you must accept your share of dunking. Absolutely true. 100%.
Essentially. Blake, I don't have your acceptance speech on hand, so
you'd have to find it through the through his Twitter. And I like his display pic because it really goes to show like how scummy a politician should look. And you can see right there on his display. No, I'm playing. Congratulations, Blake. Congratulations,
Mr. Councilman-elect. What did he say?
Yeah, I think it's in
I
private
sent it to you. It's in private chat.
Okay. Nice. You know, you could just like start playing it.
Honestly,
from this laptop, I can't because I haven't set it up yet.
You don't have the screen.
Nah, I have to finish that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and share it.
Good evening. Tonight, I am so proud to announce that I am accepting the results of the Hillsborough, Kansas City Council Seat Ward 1 election.
Rigged election.
My campaign is
absolutely rigged. Nobody got.
I want to thank all those who have cast their vote for me, but most importantly, I want to thank my constituents in Hillsborough for giving me a chance to make a change in our community. I couldn't be more proud to be living here, and most importantly, giving back to the community that I love. When I first decided to run for the Hillsborough City Council seat, I asked myself, how can I best give back to this community?
By resigning.
At the same time, somebody approached me with the decision to actually run for the city council seat. And after I gave it a lot of thought,
who is his contact in Russia that allowed this to happen? Honestly, I mean, look at this.
Played into my
he couldn't even wear a suit or a tie.
Council seat, Ward 1. We have a lot of work to get done. Tonight was just the first step. I want to hear from you. How can we best improve our community? What can
and
be
the people
done
who voted for nobody
to make our town
Thank
a
you.
better place?
What could I do for you?
And attract business and grow our local economy.
Inshallah.
I'm here to work for you, Hillsborough.
Inshallah.
Let's get this done.
Hillsborough.
Thank you for voting for
Accept
me.
Allah in your hearts and start reading the Quran. And this is how we will make sure Hillsborough
Thank you all.
Makes it.
Everybody have a good night.
You should finish off by saying Jazakallah khair and that's Blake, you fucked up, man. You should have really hit him with the jab.
With the Alhamdulillah at the end of it. But no, really, Blake.
Dan wants pizza says Blake is a politician now, so I must hate him on principle. Very smart. He's actually a Fed. He's on his way to being he's a Fed in training. Rachel Kaplan says, did you all see my future husband Max Fried, or is it Fried, win the World Series? That hot Jewish 6'4", tall drink of water. Bonk. I'm putting him on my vision board. Double bonk.
I don't think there are tall Jewish people. I don't think that's even allowed. Is it?
Well,
Jay, God allow for
you're
tall
4'9", so everybody's tall to you.
Hey, I'm 5'4". All right, I'm 5'4", and Ben Shapiro lies about his height. He's 5'3".
Harkina says, because I missed it last night, what I need you guys to do is play the song Nagbi by Jazzy B and do some Bhangra dance. That's a bit difficult to do on StreamYard. And the fact that
we are going to be streaming after this, though.
Yeah,
we're going to be playing a horror game, so you can catch us on Twitch,
Yeah.
And we'll be doing the tall. And also we did notice by the Kansas City Chief flag behind you. And if you're going to, you know, push policy and actually be a politician anywhere near the way that Kansas City plays the game, your constituents are fucked.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, fucked. I have never seen somebody take a dip that hard from being a Super Bowl team.
Yo,
to being
is
dirt.
John Doe? Is John Doe saying, "Is this the truck driver from New Jersey, the Dunkin' Donuts?" Oh man!
But the Kansas City constituents wishes this was the Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Oh my god! Look, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything major that we missed, because there's a lot of election shit.
Darla, he's a Chiefs fan. That means he's racist. True.
We
What
forgot
did we
also
miss,
talking
Spencer?
about Joe Manchin telling Biden to go fuck himself, basically, in so
Do
many
you think
words.
Do you think Joe Manchin telling Joe Biden to go fuck off, Jay? Do you think him telling that cost Virginia a Democratic governor?
No,
There are a
absolutely
lot of people
not.
there. I mean, in the midst of all the
they-
white supremacy stuff, there are a lot of people saying that, oh, you know, the reason why things are so bad on election night was
Because
Biden didn't get his infrastructure
build
plan.
back or his build back better and shit. No, that's not the case at all. What happened was, and there was a good clip of a Latino. I mean, I'm so sorry, a Latinx man.
No,
actually Latinx man coming out and saying, like, you know, everything is horrible. Everyone's looking at Biden, that this is his fault, and this is why I voted against him. And he was speaking all of that in Spanish. It was a great video to see. I don't think it has anything to do with him not being able to pass the Build Back Better, because it's not going to actually improve anyone's life. It really isn't. That kind of spending isn't going anywhere. It's going to politicians' pockets, lobbyists' pockets, and it's not going to improve your life one fucking bit. And a good example of that is here in California, where they spend billions, and the only thing that seems to increase is the lives of is homeless people on the streets. That's what increases here. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
They are just trying, like you were saying, like when they're blaming all white women, they're trying to find a reason and somewhere to blame. And because they already hate Joe Manchin for not wanting to push this whole liberal ideology. And it's so funny to me. I honestly, it's really funny. Like, one thing I really want to talk about is when it comes to Joe Manchin is how these people who are hating on him are this, like, who hate on Joe Manchin for not passing this stuff are the same people who say that government sucks, but they want to give government all of this money and power. And some of the people that do that, it makes no sense to me whatsoever at all. Government doesn't do anything right. Government is killing people. Government is doing this. America is shit, all this stuff. But America should steal all of our money and have all of our money. That's the government. That's what they should do. You make no sense to me. Those type of people make like, zero sense to me.
And I've seen plenty of behavior coming from the right where they're being, like you have your Charlie Kirks of the world, and he's a very easy target. But I mentioned,
he is.
He's one of those people who says big government. He like basically founded an organization in which one of their mottos is big government sucks. And then as soon as Trump gets elected, he turns it. He basically he's like, oh, Daddy Trump, like
right.
Pay attention.
Give him all the money. Like, give him everything. Give him all the power.
Never changed its size. I mean, the thing is, it's not like Trump did anything really to shrink the size of government. Sure, he probably cut a lot of regulation, but it's not like he actually did anything to reduce the size of government, which a lot of these Republicans and conservatives talk about, but they never actually
follow through with anything.
They never follow through with it, because all they do is they put their people in there so that whenever a Democrat gets in control, they have at least enough foot soldiers in the executive branch who can at least combat against whatever their agenda is. Habibi Bros. What is Habibi Bros? in the chat. There's also the people saying pass the bills, and we'll explain what is in the bill to the people. That's a very
That's exactly what they say.
Larry Longball says, "Do you guys use wipes on the toilet? I refuse to take a dump without them these days.
I actually have bidets. I mean, when
I use a lota.
I use a bidet. So I think everyone should have bidets or a lota.
So a lota is like an analog bidet.
It's basically like you're going to water flowers or something, but you're doing it on your asshole.
Your butthole.
You
are pouring the water from the lota on your butthole. It is from after taking a nice tutty. You know what tutty is, sir? You take a tutty, and your butthole is clean, crisp.
And one thing right here, yes, Carl. Carl is going to be playing with us later on tonight, and Spencer, quick to take that off. Hey, Jay, did you see Spencer's last fantasy matchup? What was the result? He lost. He lost like a little bitch, and now his Henry guy is out. Fuck you, Spencer, and fuck you, Ben. The only people to beat me, and I'm probably going to lose again this week, but fuck all you guys.
Jay,
beat us. Yes. Even though you never win.
You
never logged in. You never accepted being co-manager, but you never did.
I will. I'll accept, inshallah.
Inshallah soon.
And in like week 18.
Inshallah, Yarab.
Inshallah. We have anything else? You want to go play some games?
Yes. And also I want to go pee. So I want to go pee.
Hold up.
Back.
No, Spencer. He took that shit down because he misspelled your. He says, Jay, you are team trash. Your team is trash.
Fire them. Jay, I made a quick Squid Game and clip your arm. You're welcome. Thank you. I'll go look at it. But first, I'm going to go do Squirt Game with your mom.
Okay, so Habibis, we'll end it on that. We'll see you on the stream after this. We'll be on Twitch. Go ahead and check us out on there. We'll probably also stream it to YouTube. Why not? Maybe. We'll see what happens. Anyways, Habibis, love y'all. Hope you have a good night. For the Habibi Bros, I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And Spencer, our producer, thank you so much for helping us out. And never speak again whatsoever. Love y'all. Have a good night. Masalama. Be sick.